I don't reading like bullshit comments about like, oh, you are bad because CCP is good comments isn't actually interesting, right?
No, of course
it's
not.
morphed into something else. And Wu Mao, I like to explain is when the government tells the people to do something, this is what's happening.
Well, that's
the outcomes.
The whole point of this whole segment is that the way the Wu Mao react and the different narratives that they choose to take, it shows you what the Chinese government is trying to do.
Yes.
It's the funnest thing to watch, actually. You see how it evolves. And, recently they'll do things like, oh, I absolutely agree with everything you say in this video. However,
it's like an evolution.
Then they'll be like, however, this might not be correct. And then they try to like disassemble your argument to basically say you don't know anything and that you suck.
The new thing, it's very clear, is not them even talking about China necessarily. It's them saying, oh, yeah, but Democrats are bad. Oh, yeah, but Republicans are bad. And what they're doing is sowing hatred. Division. And then after that, they'll insert some comments. Oh yeah, at least China's not doing that. And they're like, oh, I never thought about it like that.
Yeah. I've got
it's like fake dialogue.
Recently, I had a bit of a hinkling about that. Anyway, let's let's take a look, guys.
Something about light switch.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway, what do we got going on here? This is a study, and you love studies, so maybe you can tell us about this.
Man.
Yeah, I know you are.
I'm a studious gentleman.
Right. Well, you like reading other people's studies. What is this?
This is a study that they did, and I thought it was absolutely fascinating how they did it.
Okay.
What they did was they would go to different countries, and they'd leave wallets around. Right.
Yeah.
There would be empty ones, control wallets, right? And then they'd have wallets with $13 in them. Now this was adjusted based on the country they're in, so it was $13 in the U.S., right? But that would mean something else in a different country, right? They would adjust it for the person's
like a million
Zimbabwean
pesos or whatever.
Yeah, but not even that. That might only be $1, right? But it's whatever that equivalent would be your purchasing power in that country. PPP, what I mean, purchasing power parity. And I thought this is interesting because they wanted to find out what percentage of people would report the lost wallet, right?
Okay.
So on the left here with the orange dot, this is if the wallet had no money in it. And the red dot is if it had the $13 equivalent in it, right? Okay. So and you have high trust societies at the top. You had Switzerland where you had over 80% of people in Switzerland.
By the way, the way they did this, correct me if I'm wrong, but they only recorded the wallets that were actually, returned?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so for example, if somebody looked at a wallet and walked by, that didn't count in the study.
Right.
It was the people that interacted with the wallet.
So if somebody picked up a wallet
and kept it.
Yeah. So because they're watching these wallets and they put the same amount of wallets in every country. Yes. It's not like it was, and so what they do is they'd watch. So if people walk past, doesn't matter. But if someone picked up the wallet, then they'd see if it was returned or not later or reported later.
Yes.
Okay. So Switzerland, of course, looks like 80%
if it had money. And the curious thing about this was interesting. Mm-hmm. If the wallet had money on it, in every country, it was more likely to be reported.
Yeah,
which I thought was interesting.
That's crazy. I mean, it looks like Denmark did the best on this test.
For the wallet with the money.
Yeah. With the one without money, they're like, sweet, free wallet.
I mean, to be fair, it's still overwhelmingly reported.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
Anyway, you get lower. I thought the UK and the United States were interesting because it was vastly more reported if it had money in it.
Yes, yeah.
Which was crazy.
I mean, it looks like in America, it's like 60% thereabouts, like 58%, 60%. And UK is actually 65%, it looks like.
If it had money.
Yeah.
Slightly lower without it. Anyway, I like to use those two countries as kind of the control, the average,
sure.
Right? You go down the list.
South Africa sucks, but I thought it would be like in the negative. I thought you'd get like negative 100% or something of reported.
I guess fairly honest society.
Well, no, bullshit. I mean, just saying.
Okay. Well, this is not a flawed study.
No, I'm just saying it surprised me. Maybe everyone was in a good mood that day. Maybe they just won the World Cup.
That's how these studies work, is anecdotal days.
Yeah, it is. It's anecdotal, like just won the World Cup.
Exactly. They picked that day to make it look good.
Anyway, I'm just saying, it's a good surprise. It's a good surprise. South Africa, actually 40% of wallets that were found were reported.
Yeah.
They probably dropped them all on the waterfront in Cape Town.
Here we go again.
Anyway,
I'm just find it. So what you're saying is that the study is negated and we can't pay attention.
I'm just playing devil's advocate.
Sure.
Of course, it's a correct study.
Right.
I just doubt they dropped them in, I don't know, a township or something.
Where people need money, like a poor area.
Yeah, it's like Yeah, I feel like in America, if they dropped, but they would have been controlled. They probably dropped some in the poor areas, some in the rich areas.
It was
right?
very well controlled.
Then it's fair.
Anyway, Mexico was the only country Mexico and Peru were the only countries where if the wallet had money, it was more likely to be kept than if it didn't have money. I thought that was weird. But the most interesting part of this is that China is dead last with less than 10% of people reporting the wallet if it didn't have money. That looks
more like about 6 to 7%.
Maybe 6 or 7%. And then about 21% reporting if it did have money.
Yeah.
Which was not shocking at all for someone that lived in China. I've had my wallet stolen multiple times there. And there's a bystander syndrome in China where if you see something, it's not your problem. You ignore it. I imagine a lot of these wallets were completely ignored.
Yeah, they normally are.
But again, these are only the ones that were interacted with, right? Yeah. So very, very low on this. And again, I have to attribute this to a government problem because you have China, which is the least charitable country in the world.
That's not likely. Just, you're not just saying that, it's true.
No, it's true. It's the least.
When it comes to donating,
it's battling it out with Greece.
Yeah, when it comes to donating to charity, it doesn't happen in China. Charities aren't really a thing.
Yes. Yeah. So you have that paired to this, paired to the whole lack of Good Samaritan situation in China. And the issue is the government tells people that it's not their problem. Yeah. And in fact, they incentivize people not to take matters into their own hands because people will oftentimes get the short end of the stick. They'll be blamed for whatever problem there is. So you don't help people.
That's what I was going to say, is that in China, if you were to go and try to go to the police to report it, it would probably cause you so much hassle.
Yes.
You'd be held responsible. Maybe they'd try to blame you for stealing the wallet,
Sure.
They'd want you to fill out paperwork. There'd be a whole thing. So a lot of people want to avoid that.
Right.
I mean, dude, I remember there was once I was riding my little e-bike around in near where I lived in Shenzhen, and there was a bridge, and there was a dude, like a homeless dude with no clothes on, standing on the top of the bridge about to jump off of it, okay? It was a bridge going over the highway. So
was it over troubled water?
It was over a troubled highway.
Oh, troubled highway.
So I rushed to the nearest police station.
Yeah.
And I was like, ran up.
Yeah, I remember.
And I'm like, in my poor broken Chinese, I'm like, there's a man standing on the bridge there, Mayo Ifu, like no clothes. Yeah. He's going to tiao, he's going to jump. And they were like, that's not our jurisdiction. That's not our it was just down the road. I literally went, it was like a 2-minute wait. Yeah, exactly. They were like, meh, not my problem. I was like, what the I went back and the dude wasn't there anymore. I don't know what happened to him. But
did you look down?
Yeah, I did.
Did you look up?
Yeah, I looks up. Yeah, okay. But I was very disappointed that was the attitude that China had.
Yeah, for sure. And the issue is there's a lot of countries on here. And again, I would like to combat your whole... I know your preconceived notion is maybe if it was in a poor area, there'd be more people taking it. And I would probably... That's a natural instinct to think that. But a lot of these countries are poorer than China. Yeah. China ranked lower than that. And I think that's interesting to look at.
Oh, no, I fully agree with that. And it's a combination of what we were talking about. It's the fact that if you do anything in China that's out of the ordinary, you can just ruin your life.
Yes.
That's why people don't step in to help when someone is in desperate need, like drowning or being run over by traffic. I did video about that recently. My video is called like China is Not Safe.
Yeah.
Definitely watch that if you want to know about this. It's a terrible situation that when people actually want to help, they get punished. So people do not help.
Yes.
And it's led to one of the most awful societies to ever be in an emergency in.
That's correct.
If you are a woman by yourself and you're being beaten up by a gang of thugs or whatever, no one's going to step in.
As you see.
As what happened.
By the way, update on the beating.
Yeah, the main guy got some...
Sentenced to 24 years in jail. But the most interesting thing is what people aren't talking about. China's using it as a propaganda victory to say, look at how harshly we sentence people.
Yeah.
Turns out there were 8 local officials involved in trying to basically get them out of it. And if it didn't go viral on Chinese media and then on Western media, nothing would have happened.
No.
Nothing happens in these areas where you have local connections.
Yeah, so the local police did not investigate the case at first. They refused to investigate the case. They weren't going to do anything.
Because they're involved with criminals.
Yeah, and if the, like you said, if it hadn't gone viral, and there wasn't that much attention on it, it would have disappeared. The women would have been beaten to death and no one would have cared.
That's what's so scary about outside of main Chinese cities. the local police that are in charge of everything, right?
Yeah.
Are oftentimes completely in bed with criminal gangs.
Yeah, they are.
They're the same thing. So think about if something happens, if you're a victim of something, why do you think nothing happens?
When I was in Shenzhen, I was sitting in a place where you could get a foot massage downstairs. I used to go all the time. It was like 25 RMB or whenever I got there. It was really cheap. So me and my buddy, we used to go sit there. You even get like a
Those
free
outdoor ones?
No, it's like indoors.
Oh, okay.
But like how it works is you walk into the bottom and then they've got all those chairs where you sit down and, you can look out onto the street.
Right. Window ones.
Yeah,
like where you get an IV. Like in those,
yeah, exactly.
hospitals, yeah.
But it's super nice. You can sit there. They give you a free cup of like coffee, but it's like instant coffee.
Yeah, Nescafe.
I actually made a bunch of videos way back if you want to go look at my terrible editing and video skills. Yeah, I filmed those foot massage places. I used to love it. Whenever friends would come over or visit me in China or whenever I met subscribers, I'd take them to these places because it's cheap and you get like a 45-minute foot massage and, all that kind of stuff. But upstairs, they had dodgy stuff going on, obviously, right? So one day I'm sitting there having a foot massage and a huge, like a swarm of police come in and they all like rush upstairs. Next minute, I see a manager run out. He goes and buys like a tower of Wang Laoji, Wang Laoji, Jiao Bao, we've spoken about that.
Herbal tea.
Yeah, it's like a tea. And he ran up the stairs to give them all their tea and they did their little chat up there and the cops then just kind of sauntered out a little later, all looking real happy and everything was taken care of. They obviously paid their bribe or whatever it was and nothing happened.
Yep.
That's kind of how it works. The cops are criminals.
Yes. Absolutely.
For the majority, and especially in the smaller towns, because the incentive for them to be good is very low. The paycheck is super low in China for a policeman. Like, it's really bad. Like, your average cop gets paid nothing.
No, you have to make money elsewhere. Also, if you try to be the good cop, then you're the one that gets nailed to the cross.
Yeah, all your other bad cop buddies are going to be
done.
Like,
you're done. It's like government officials. Even if you're a really good government official, you want to join the CCP, you want to be the good guy. If you don't get involved with the bad stuff, I'm saying 100% of the time, by the way. Yeah. If you don't get involved in some degree with the bad stuff, then you're the outsider that's going to rat people out. And then people will nail you to the cross.
Yeah, they'll get rid of you.
Anyway.
It's kind of like, when you're a bunch of people and everyone's drinking and then there's that one guy's a teetotaler and everyone's just like, can this guy piss off?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like he's ruining the mood. Get him out of here.
He's ruining the mood.
Yeah.
I'm very curious about Peru because it's the only country where both were exactly the same. Someone's like, this wallet has money, this wallet doesn't have money. I want both.
Yes.
Give me that wallet.
Yeah, it's 11%.
It's equal.
Yeah. I remember there were a lot of money scams in China a while ago. Do you remember that scam that was going around where somebody would put money on the ground?
Yeah.
So they would put like I don't know, 300 RMB, 500 RMB, and then if someone picked it up, and then they'd run up and say, "Oh, that's mine.
That's mine. I dropped it."
And they're like, "Okay, here." And then they're like, "No, there was 1,500 here. Yeah. You've taken the rest."
No, they even get the police involved.
Then they get the police involved, and so I think the reason why the ones with money were returned more is they probably thought, oh shit, this is probably a scam. I got to get rid of this right now. Report it straight away.
That was a common scam.
That was a common scam. It was freaking annoying.
It was less about you seeing it in real life, but people talked about it a lot. So it's obviously happening.
When I was working at this one ESL training center, we super glued a 1 RMB coin to the tiles outside the building. We
used to do that at quarters in America.
Okay, it was kind of funny to see the amount of people that try to pick it up.
It's hilarious. We do it outside like a McDonald's or whatever.
Yeah. Oh well,
funny.
Good fun.
Funny as hell.
Good fun. Anyway, stupid little prankish nonsense.